on 3 majors. You all probably know already that you can't really learn chemistry just online or just by reading about it. You learn chemistry by doing, so our majors are heavily focused on laboratories. So we'll talk more about that. We have lots of student clubs in the department, and on the advising webpage, we'll start sending out announcements when the student clubs meet, and that might be a way that you can meet other majors in, you know, because when you're in your general chemistry class, you've probably got 50% biology majors, I'm guessing, off the top of my head. Maybe 5% physics majors, another 20% engineering, different types of engineering. But then you've also got students who are pre-med and they might be health professions majors, or they might want to go to nursing school, so a whole bunch of different people, right, in your general chemistry classes. And it's hard to meet others who are chemistry and biochemistry majors, so we really want to make it easier for you to find each other. And then also tell you about potential research opportunities and internships. And a lot of times those don't start maybe until you're past organic chemistry or you're starting organic chemistry, but we want to give you information about it in case you already want to get started with research. Okay, so we want to help you. The main thing I'm going to talk about tonight is your degree plan and what requirements you have, but I also want you to know that we can give you information on student clubs and when they're meeting, and the potential to perform research with faculty members and get involved in internships. So we want to help you as much as possible. So degree plans. All of you have a degree audit, and you can all sign into the degree audit. And the thing that's helpful about the degree audit is that anytime you meet with an advisor, they will put notes into your degree audit and you can go back and view those. So also, if you have an individual meeting at some point with either myself or Dr. Weber, we'll put notes into your degree audit as well. But most likely, if you're in general chemistry right now or organic chemistry, most of your notes probably come from the PACE Advising Center or the PACE advisors. And just by show of hands, how many of you are being advised in PACE right now? Okay, so close to all of you. So they are your official academic advisors when you first come to Texas State. And that stays your advising home until you transition to the College of Science and Engineering Advising Center. That being said, you can get into your degree audit. You can see all of the requirements for your degree. So I would recommend that you do that. You just log in CapSub. You can find it under your academic records. And if you're under PACE advising, you will meet with a PACE advisor, and then after your first year at Texas State or your first set of 30 credit hours, you'll transition to meet with advisors in the College of Science and Engineering Advising Center. And they are located in Centennial Hall on the 2nd floor. They're great, but very overwhelmed. So sometimes it's hard to get an appointment. At one point, they mentioned that right now there's about one advisor for every 700 majors. So we want to make sure you know what classes you're taking and make it easier for you to find that information. But I would strongly encourage you to try to make an appointment with your academic advisor at least once a year, even if you don't have any questions. Because here's what happens. They go back and they look through your degree audit and they just make sure everything looks good. Sometimes things change, and there are certain requirements that you have to meet for graduating from Texas State. That's independent of the major that you're in. So I'm going to just say it one more time. Make sure you check your degree audit. before you register, just to check off and see, what do I need still in my degree? Okay, so here's an example, super tiny writing, because I'm not, I just pulled this example from somebody who's getting ready to graduate. And notice all the green check marks, right? So on your degree audit, if you've taken a course and you successfully completed that course, it's gonna check off the green check mark. And actually, I probably should have picked a different example because everything's done here. But if you're in progress of something, it's going to be shaded blue. I can't always tell blue, green, it's some shade in that color family. And then if you haven't done or attempted the category, it's red. It'll show you on your degree audit that you haven't taken the course and that you still need it. This works really well if you're sure what you want your major to be. All right, so all of you said you're either chemistry or biochemistry majors. And at this point in your degree, it's pretty easy to switch back and forth between being a chemistry major or a biochemistry major. The degree plan looks pretty similar for the first 2 years. The difference is, do you like biology? And do you want to take some biology classes? So in the biochemistry major, there's required functional and organismal biology, for instance, that chemistry majors don't have to take unless they want to minor in biology. Your degree audit will tell you what classes do you need, but it doesn't tell you when you should take them, right? So it's gonna put the courses in terms of their number. It's just gonna numerically order them. And it doesn't tell you, like, you should take this in the fall, you should take this in the spring. It doesn't do anything like that. So it's important to check with your advisors and to look at, the suggested degree plan. Okay, so how many of you are in general chemistry? Okay, anybody in organic? Okay, so mostly in general chemistry, you want to do your general chemistry courses in labs, and we offer those every semester and each summer session. So you're not going to get off track with general chemistry. If you, for instance, are taking Gen Chem 1 right now, and then you're taking Gen Chem 2 in the spring, you're just right on track, but maybe some people have to take college algebra first, maybe in their first semester, and then they take Gen Chem in the spring. It's really easy to get back on track because you can take your second Gen Chem course in the summer. Although we recommend when students take courses in the summer that you're not responsible for also working a lot of hours or doing a lot of other activities, because it comes fast and furious in the summer in terms of the content. But then organic chemistry and labs, and so that it's the same for chemistry or biochemistry. So what's different? Those of you that are biochemistry students, you just want to keep in the back of your mind that before the fall semester of your quote-unquote junior year in your major, you want to make sure you complete organic chemistry too. That's really important, and I'll show you why in a little bit. Actually, organic chemistry for chemistry majors doesn't keep you from moving forward at all. So it seems a little counterintuitive, but really some of the important courses in general chemistry after Gen Chem 2 are quantitative analysis, and then you're going to be getting ready for physical chemistry. So you have to take your math and physics as well. And Dr. Weber is going to add something that she might suggest for you chemistry majors.
So I teach quantitative analysis here at Texas State. My best advice I can give to you, take quant right after you take Gen Chem 2, because for some reason it's a 3,000 level course, Gen Chem's a 100 or 1,000 level course, but it's overlapping a lot with Gen Chem 2. And so if you can, try to do quant right after that Gen Chem 2. Don't put a couple years in between. That would be my advice as a quant professor.
Yeah. So that's not what it says in the catalog. All right, well, the catalog, progression of courses is designed for a particular type of student that has come in without any of their general education courses and is, kind of starting at the freshman level, and they don't have room in their schedule to, for instance, maybe take quant earlier. So that's really important information to know, and we are happy to help you plan your progression. So chemistry majors, you do have to focus more on the math and physics up front. The biochemistry students aren't getting by without math and physics because they have to do it also, but they can push it further back. So the biochemistry students, you want to make sure you're taking your biology early on, and then you can have time later for the math and physics. Okay, so here's something at Texas State that does sometimes throw a roadblock up for people, and that is the fact that our department is fairly small, even though our university is large. So we have typically 60 majors a year that are graduating, which isn't that many for a university this size. It's more like we have more of a smaller departmental feel to our courses after you get out of Gen Chem and Organic. Right, so right now they seem really large, but as you move forward, they're smaller. And what that means is that upper level courses often only get offered once a year. So you gotta get them, you have to take them when they're offered. You don't have the choice of all semesters in summer. So this physical chemistry course for the chemistry majors, that's a fall only course. And once you take this course, you can't graduate faster than 2 years. That's for chemistry majors. For the biochemistry majors, there's a course that you take in the fall of your quote unquote junior year. But once you take that course, you still need 2 more years to graduate. That's why I'm calling it the quote unquote junior year. So no matter what your number of credit hours are, if you're a biochemistry major, once you take biochemistry, you're going to be taking courses the fall and spring of that year, and then the next year, fall and spring, to graduate. If you're a chemistry major, you're going to take physical chemistry 1 and 2, and then the following year, you'll take some additional courses. But keep in mind, as a chemistry major, you don't have to complete organic chemistry 2 or the organic series before you start your physical chemistry. You can fit it in later. You don't have to do that. It's not a prerequisite for the physical chemistry or the quantitative analysis or instrumental chemistry. Biochemistry is really important to get through organic because biochemistry is organic chemistry in vivo. So you gotta have that knowledge before you start the biochemistry series. I just wanna keep your goal on making sure your prerequisites are done to get into those courses at the right time. And again, we'll help you do that because the recommended path that's in the catalog might not look the same as what your path is going to be. So I just took a screenshot from the catalog, and you can see it tells you to take organic chemistry 1 and organic chemistry 2 after you took Gen Chem, but you could put quantitative analysis here and organic chemistry 1 the next semester, and you would be fine. You do have to make sure that you're keeping up with your math and physics to have those prerequisites before you take your physical chemistry. Okay, so your path might look different, and we want to help you plan the optimal path for the shortest amount of time to graduation, right? And so I said, always check with an advisor You can check with us, you can check with advisors in the College of Science and Engineering. But keep in mind that the College of Science and Engineering advisors are the ones who maintain your degree audit. So you do need to check in with them every once in a while. All right, so questions. The typical questions we get for why can't I register? Our registration system automatically looks for prerequisites, and if it doesn't find it, it won't let you in. And it gives you a standard prerequisite test score or some other error. It returns the same error. So maybe you already took the prerequisite at Austin Community College, and that's fine. But our system doesn't know that. Even if you submitted your transcripts to Texas State, it's not in the registration system. So if you took a prerequisite course somewhere else, you can use our student registration assistance form. And I put the link directly here. Dr. Weber's gonna get this posted on the advising site. That link will be there. You can just directly click on it and give us the information for overrides if you need that. So I say that because they're called overrides, but they're not really prerequisite waivers because our department does not waive prerequisites. So as long as you've taken a prerequisite course somewhere else, we'll put in an override for you to register. And you want to keep track of that. Again, we offer general chemistry and organic chemistry 1 and 2 both. Long sessions and both summer sessions. So we try to give you a lot of options in your schedule for when you take those courses. So just a reminder that you have to have the prerequisites, but there could be something else going on. And this happens. Maybe you try to add the lab first and then the lecture. And if you do that, the registration system will think you didn't take the lecture yet, and it'll return an error to you. And maybe if you just switch the order, it'll be fine and accept your registration. So you always want to make sure that you add the lecture first before the lab that goes with it. And then the other thing is that sometimes, registration is like a free-for-all, like a mad dash to the finish line on October 17th. But really, we have from October 17th until the start of next semester to get you into the class you need. And so I want to encourage you that if something looks closed and you're a major, we will work with you to get you into the classes you need. Now, we can't help you get into biology. So if you're trying really hard to get into biology classes, you're gonna have to talk to the biology department. But we can and do whatever we can to make sure our majors can get the courses they need. We don't put you into closed labs, but if we know that enough people need a lab, we add lab sections sometimes at the start of the semester. So we can't add you directly to closed classes, but we can keep track of who needs what and do our best to open up sections. So just keep that in mind, don't panic. If you're not like one of the first people to register and then all of a sudden it looks like everybody took up the class you needed, take whatever section you can get and try to change later, and it usually works. And then the one last thing I want to remind everybody is that Dr. Weber and I cannot remove academic holds. If you have any holds, those have to get taken care of with science advising. So it's just a difference between what faculty advisors do and what the academic advisors in your college do. Okay, so if you're gonna think about changing your major from biochemistry to chemistry, I can't change that for you. Dr. Weber can't change that for you. It seems like a simple change. But you have to go and meet with an advisor in the College of Science Advising office and talk to them before you change your major. Adding or changing a minor is pretty easy. So I put the link here on the form and take you directly to the website for the College of Engineering Advising Center. And if you look at this forms and online advising, there's a lot of things you can do here. You can't change your major, but you can request to particular courses that you might want to take, or you could get a course evaluated that you took somewhere else. There's a lot of things that you can do, useful things here. You can change your minor. So if you click on this for updating your major, they're gonna make you come in and meet directly with them. But if you click on it for a minor, you can add a minor to your program. And that sometimes is helpful, especially if you get to a point where maybe you have a scholarship and you have to have 14 credit hours a semester, but you already took a lot of your gen ed courses in high school. So how do you get 14 credit hours a semester? You can't take 14 credit hours of chemistry in the same semester. It just doesn't work that way for the classes and the sequencing. So we can help you pick, I don't know, psychology as a minor, or anthropology. Those are two that are somewhat common for chemists, especially people who might want to work in forensic chemistry. There's a forensic psychology minor. Maybe you like art and you just want to not do science, all day or all week. You could add a minor in something like art or Spanish or another language. I'm gonna guess that most of you in this room are probably going to have more than one minor to be like 14 credit hours or more a semester. That's just the consequence of students taking so many general education courses in high school. So if you have most of those courses done, and you need to be 14, say, credit hours a semester for financial aid or scholarships, we can help you find courses to take. All right, so I'm about ready to open up to questions. I do want to mention that we strongly encourage our majors to get involved in undergraduate research. And one of the first things that you can do is look up the faculty on our departmental website and see what work are they doing. Does it look interesting to you? And if it does, then I can help you, Dr. Weber can help you, or you could just on your own come up with an email to different faculty to set up a meeting and talk to them about what's going on in their lab. So when we think about research, you can do research as a volunteer or as a paid member of a group. And then you can also take research as a course. And those are things that if you want to go to graduate school, or if you want to get an idea of whether this is really for you, most of you will likely do some type of research. We're also excited to be adding internship opportunities as a class. So for those of you that are just coming into the program, you'll be able to take course credit for an internship by the time you get to your upper division credit hours. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind as well, that research and internship opportunities will be part of your degree if you want it to be. Okay, so we have good student organizations that are pretty active on campus and in the department. We're happy to give you information about those student organizations, and I'm pretty much gonna just open it up to questions. I have some slides here that show you some of the types of research that's getting done in our department. And first I'll take degree questions or specific questions about coursework, and